जी जी
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I welcome you all. The IWN Rasan session, Healthy Mind and Healthy Diet in Corona Times. Women are hardest hit by the current COVID-19 pandemic and its impacts. Beyond the direct effect of the infection by the coronavirus, women's health and safety. In this time of unprecedented crisis, women also face an increased burden of care and subsequent risk of getting sick because they represent the majority of frontline in healthcare and caregivers in homes and communities globally. This is also in addition to the disappropriate indirect impact of the pandemic on women's livelihoods everywhere. With the majority of women working in the informal economy, they often lack health insurance, putting them further at risk. To ensure an optimal relief and recovery response without compromising women's safety and rights, governments and decision makers across all sectors must include a gender perspective in all decisions. Gender sensitive policies that recognize and respond to women's needs will benefit not just women but society at large. More than ever, this crisis has shown that people's safety and well being is determined by decision makers, both elected and unelected. Taking forward the agenda today, we are glad to host Ms. Sharmila Devi, who is an NLP coach, India certified by international NLP trainer and author Sue Knight, UK and founder of Wisdom Inner Science. Sharmila's coaching program creates a collaborative learning environment where the interplay of conscious and unconscious learning process fully harness the potential of each learner on a course. Sharmila has a unique style of using metaphor, humor, and altered states. This makes her sessions a profound learning experience flowing into every outlet of your life. Sharmila's coaching programs are creating impact on entrepreneurs, leaders, organizational teams, artists, professionals, individuals, and also families. The ultimate purpose of Sharmila is to touch the lives of people around her and creating positive differences through her coaching and being an exemplar. She focuses on making positive influence on people and awaken their inner self and reveal their untapped potential with the power of NLP. Over to you, Sharmila. Welcome, Sharmila. Hello, where are
Hello.
you?
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Welcome, Sharmila.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Good evening.
Yes,
Good evening.
good afternoon. Where are you,
Okay, it's still good afternoon. Okay,
Sharmila?
good. So, very good evening to all. Thank you, Mrs. Kiran Podar, for the very nice introduction. And I'm a woman from Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and and I'm also being a very active Young Indian CI member. And it's my high privilege to meet you all the dignitary ladies and entrepreneurs and leaders here. It's my indeed pleasure, and thank you, Tushar, for inviting me for this webinar. I think many states of Tamil Nadu, almost all the states of Tamil Nadu, many women leaders are recently emerging as startups and entrepreneurs and many leaders who are getting boomed up. And these all are having, every woman had faced some challenges in their life and they overcome and they are shining like anything. These are all happening. And especially now we are facing a pandemic situation all over the world, especially not only in India. And it has made, as Mr. Kiran Poddar said, it has made a huge responsibility and huge challenges and uncertainty all over the world, right? So here the women leaders has to take their own pace now, because as an entrepreneur they had very much uncertainty and challenges to overcome. So here I wish to share my PPT here. Tushar, can you enable screen sharing for me?
Yeah, sure. Just a minute. I think you can share this chat.
So actually, the information coming for me is host to disable the participant screen sharing. If you
Just a
can,
minute. Yeah, just a minute.
yes, please. Yes, now I can do. Thank you. Can everyone see the slide?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So during whatever the pandemic is or not, everything, the leadership quality of every woman is more about the behaviors rather than being a hero. So actually the common perception about leadership, or especially the women, because I'm having a workshop called Queen Bee. So every woman as a powerful leader, we always want to strive for some power, some control or something. If we are satisfied with the need of power, need of control, controlling the situations, controlling the people, we are very much happy about being a powerful leader. Actually, that is one dimension. The dimension of being a powerful leader is more about the behaviors rather than being a hero. Okay, if we are very good in our values, traits, and behavior, and the composed personality, everything makes us a hero rather than taking the control over anything. So here, there are some challenges really faced by the women leaders nowadays. Maybe we can see this as during this pandemic view, this COVID-19, many women leaders like those who are in the politics, those who are in the NGOs, and those who are in the section of some other professionals like lawyers, doctors, and so many things. So everybody has some common challenges they are facing in everyday world. So like the first one is we are exaggerating the social expectations. We always tend to do the main common trait of the women is what others think about me. If I fail, what others think. If I do something wrong, what is the opinion of others. So maybe if somebody is speaking something ill about me, then what will happen? So we often exaggerate about the social expectations, and especially during these crisis situations, we are very much bothered about the others' reactions, what the family would say. So what the organization, the employees I am having in my organization, what they would expect from me. So like this, apart from the reality. So far from the reality, we have some exaggerate, and it makes us very anxious, and it also shakes us. Uh, our emotions and everything by the women leaders, and also accessing the funds, because everyone knows that it is. So everyone, can everyone hear my voice? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's good.
Audible and clear.
Okay, thank you so much. So especially when they are in the startup stage, they are, and even the small scale and micro entrepreneurs, many micro, because in especially in India, 25% of women entrepreneurs are micro entrepreneurs. So they are facing the critical financial challenges too. To get access with the funds, they are having the challenges like how to get funds from the investor, how to get, what are the strategies, then what are the legal formalities for accessing the funds. And also it is during this uncertain period, many fiscal policies and the government policies has been changing. So they are many women are facing like ignorance about the challenges. So what are the changes in the fiscal policy? So many kind of things, and ignorance is the main part. And also so the third one is more of behavioral. So this one is we always expect. So whenever for example, when you are going to the social networking, or even nowadays all the social networkings are happening through Zoom, right? So if always we expect some recognition from others. So respect, am I being respected by everyone? So is everyone is acknowledging me? So is everyone is motivating me for my actions? So always we have some expectation for a just if we think about a simple thing at home, when we cook a dish in different way with all your heart and soul, we cook a different dish. If no one is appreciating, we are not feeling okay, right? So this is a small example, but at the same time, when comes to the society, when you are being a leader, so the earning acknowledgement and earning respect has been it's been a big struggle, because we always believe that we are women, so nobody's. So this is one of the belief. This is one of the belief or myth stopping us to grow. And sometimes we downplay our own worth when expressing. For example, if you have achieved something in the business or in a profession, we often don't let ourselves appreciate ourselves much, because if somebody is asking how did you win, so we always put others first. That is good. That is an essential part of any leader, like putting our team first. That is fine. But that is underplaying our worth makes us not feeling happy sometimes. So this is one of the challenge. And balancing in family and business, especially everybody knows that during this pandemic, many people lost their profession. We are not because every day before this pandemic, we are busy every day, like we are going outside, doing some networking, going for clubs, and going that is all the area ourselves busy in business. So like they're very busy. And nowadays they are spending more time with the family too. At the same time, still when the business is going down and it's become very much challenging and it is happening, so really the women are finding balance between the family and business and the emotions in the organizations. That is, so many critical things are going on. We have to tackle the employees there, we have to tackle the managers and the next level leaders there. So the emotions we have to handle between in the family also, we have to handle the emotions, because here some pressure is also there, like with our spouse, they are also working, they are having some business or professions. So the emotional handling, the balancing between the business and the family emotions are really a very big challenge. And also hesitate to ask help or support. So this is a one many women are lagging, and we have to improve that. That is, don't ever shame to ask any support or mentoring with others. So because this is one of the hesitation many micro level and small level entrepreneurs are having much, because the one is their lack of networking, and also they do not want to know, like they do not express the real challenges they are facing, real failures they are having already. So whatever things they are feeling very much hesitate to express with other people. And at the same time, unless we are transparent about our ignorance and failures, it is very hard to get help or support from others. So this is one of the main challenge, and also the coping up with failure. So this emotional trauma is happening with so many, irrespective of the gender, maybe the women or men or anyone. So the emotional challenges are very, very much during this period, because many organizations are earning very, very much meager profit. The profit margin got reduced, and so coping up with the failure is the coping skills among the entrepreneurs, among the leaders, is a very big challenge for any woman. So as I already told, it's not about the controlling, it's not about the ruling, it's not about the ultimate power and heroism, like kind of things. We have to believe that in a subtle way we can change the world. Okay, this is what Mahatma Gandhi told, and I think I always feel like this is more relevant to any women leaders. So we need not shout, we not run, but sometimes really in a subtle way we can change and transform the world. Because rather than anyone, rather than the other gender like men, we have the more qualities we have to explore in ourselves, that is making in a subtle way. And also this is a period before unleashing the potential of every woman. This is very important. That is, first we have to embrace what is inside us. So what is our strengths? So what is beauty in us? What does always being consistent in a woman? That is the thing we have to explore before we unleash the potential. So before I explaining about this, I want to start with a small story. Okay, because nowadays we are facing challenges all over the world. Okay, it's not about me or you or anyone. We are facing challenges all over during this pandemic, and really, so to overcome these challenges, we have to break the unsupportive belief systems which are running in our mind. So, for example, say for a story, once there was a lady who had in her life, she lost her husband, and after some few months she also lost her son. Then she was very sad, and her son died a few hours before, and she was crying and running with the body of the son all over the village. So some villagers told her, best Buddha is coming to our village today, so better you go and meet him. He will definitely help you to overcome this problem, or definitely he will give rebirth to your son. Then out of hope, she was feeling little okay, and then she ran to Buddha. She visited Buddha. Then she told Buddha, like, last a few months back, I lost my husband. Now I'm losing my son too. So he has died just before. So can you please save my child? She begged to Buddha. Then Buddha told me, okay, definitely, I could do something for you, but you have to fulfill one condition, he said. Then hopefully she felt some hope, and she was very happy. Please do anything, say anything. That is, I can even give my life for my son. So I can do anything. Please tell me. Then he said, go and get some mustard seeds to anyone. Get some mustard seeds from anyone where the family has no death so far. Then she felt happy, because we all know that mustard seeds are available in everyone's home. Everyone's cooking list, it's always there. So she was very happy, and she ran to every home and asked for mustard seeds. And also she remembers the condition that, is anyone has the death in your family? Then everyone said, yes, I lost my father, I lost my mother, or something. So everyone had some death in their family. So she couldn't get any single mustard seed from any of the families in the village. Then over some time, she realized that, okay, this is common. That is, this is common for every humans in the world. So slowly she recovered from the emotions, and finally when she back to Buddha, she said, yes, now I understood that it's common for everyone. So now I got the idea about death, what is death and how to face death. And also Buddha was very happy that she has realized, and Buddha told her, then you are now awakened now. You are awakened. You are an awakened soul. So uh, so from this story, I really want to don't count our the failures, the challenges, and during this pandemic, this thing is happening, that thing is happening. So we all are going down, and failures are happening. So the main essence of the story is this is common for everyone. This is common for the world. Everyone is facing. So this is the key takeaway from this story I want to share with you. Also now, the next one, and how to embrace the fire. So once we know the challenges, we accept the challenges. So we have to say this as it's not a problem. That is a challenge. There is a difference between the word, the problem, and the challenge. So once you say it is a challenge, definitely we can overcome. Once it's a problem, it is a victim mindset. So once we want to, whatever the thing and financial situations, my only aim is to grow up my son in a good way. Okay, that is the power of mother. That is the power of womanhood. So once you are a leader, so you have your organization as a baby, your profession, and the vision and your dreams. They are your babies. They are your children. So to achieve whatever you want and to live the life with passion or whatever thing, the motherhood, the parent, that is as a mother, that is the power, that is striving for anything, that is facing challenges, any challenges, anything in your life to achieve those things. So that is the power of motherhood. And the next thing is empathy and compassion. What is with compassion? Make your employees to keep with you, make your team to keep work for you for some short run at least. They will trust you, then yes, definitely this organization will be okay and we all together can do something. So these are all some of the powerful qualities of feminine. And also only I'm not saying this is the only quality with the women entrepreneurs, but this is a basic, and this is like a blood of a woman, right? It's a basic blood of a woman, right? Because we listen more, so women listen more than men. So these are all some of the qualities which make you as a which make you as a powerful one. And also the humility. That is, if you are making some mistakes, okay, ask for forgiveness. Okay, this is the mistake I have done. So I'm okay to taking responsibility for this. If you initiate this habit in the organization, because this is happening in our home too, so we always be the first one to ask to accept the mistake. That is a home. We need a balance. We need a balance. So we have a boundary. At the same time, this trade definitely will initiate the transparency in the organization. This will helpful for your team to and go by heart. And the persuasion, a recent study in Harvard, they are proving that men, more rather than any men, women leaders are more persuasive. Because any human being in this world, they are not feeling okay. That is, any human being can never say that I don't like women. Because I think there was or a there was a study which is happening with children, male children and female children. And when a man was that is if when he was some 7 to 8 years old, no boy felt it was easy to slap a girl or harm a girl. Like, so it is a basic trait of any human being to any good human being, right? Any good human being to harass a woman. Okay, so The persuasiveness is that is being acceptable and being attractive and charismatic. So these all the qualities are always with the women. That is a main trait which can which can help you to become a leader. And being passionate. So whatever the situation is, whatever the thing is, being the passionate woman. Take for example, Oberoi. Okay, she was arrested at the age of 9, but at the same time, she was rejected by a, TV channel, and finally, she is one of the richest women in the world. Okay, because through the passion, that is, don't worry about the appearance, don't worry about the image you are having, don't worry about what people say about us, and don't worry about our mistakes. That is, we can, yes, so we have to forgive ourselves, but the very most important thing is being passionate about what we are doing. So this is the major difference between the successful women leaders and the unsuccessful women leaders. If we some unsuccessful women leaders only enter into the business or enter into the profession for earning money and to save the family, that's fine. But if you have the complete passionate passion in your heart, definitely no one can stop you from thriving. So that is a very important thing. And the transformational leadership, as I already told, the subtle way. Okay, so whatever the women say, what are the women do, we can definitely make that is some beauty in it, that is some subtle things in it, that is some soft corner in this, that may definitely make a transformational leadership. Because whatever the leadership lessons you learn, whatever the things in the world, the motivational speakers you have faced, no one can transform you like spirituality, right? So likewise, transformational leadership for any team, and for any organization or any group of people or any society, there are much opportunity for any women to namely the resilience skill is very much in women, but the reality is we are maybe the myth or what the society is saying, women is the main cause for the conflict. Okay, but the very essence of every woman is having the resilience skill, because many women is tolerating things in the family. Many they have some flexibility and tolerance is very high in women than men. So this is the base for the resilience to survival, because even you can look at the reports of COVID patients, only the women is lesser, the women patients are lesser than men. Okay, so this also denotes she has high immune to any problem, high flexibility, and coping up skills is the basic thing for any woman. Yes. So how to unleash the power of leadership? So any woman can unleash the power of leadership once only as she could embrace the skills. That is, I already told, if you could embrace this feminine power inside you, and appreciating is very much important. Because when I say about the humility, many women are feeling like people are treating me like a doormat. Okay, I'm not happy with that. So these are all something, because some crucial things and are always in the woman, that she has to embrace and appreciate herself, not that than regretting her. Okay, then how to unleash the power of leadership after embracing the power? So the first one is the negative talk, because we always say that it's a very common because many women in different professions and business, when they join together and talk for a reason or some social networking about the harassments and how other people treated them. So it's not about what others talk. It's only about what we talk to ourselves. So what a woman can talk to herself, that is very important. So what is in our control? So this is the question you have to ask. What is in my control? Can I control the society? No, it's not possible. But I can control how I talk to myself. So fix the negative talk, and if you make it is that positive, if you convert your negative talk into a positive talk, definitely whoever you face, the people or society or anything, that will completely change. Your world will change completely only you have a positive talk. And also, the next thing is networking with the growth mindset people. This is also a common. One side it was a problem because when the ladies or women got networking together, it should not be about the problems or gossips. So it is a common view the world is having. But nowadays, it's very organic among the young women entrepreneurs. They are having very good growth mindset, and they are discussing about the solutions. They are discussing about ideas and how to grow. And everybody is having some extreme talents. Nowadays, I'm seeing many college going girls and also some professionals are very much outgoing. They are very good, and it should be appreciable. And upgrade your digital skills. So especially in the pandemic, many micro entrepreneurs like beauticians and those who are in the fashion industry. So because women is possessing these kind of business, there's like a tailoring and teaching business. So like this kind of business, those who could survive and those who could rise up during this crisis are definitely the people who possessed the digital skills and who could manage the digital knowledge, who could manage and use the digital knowledge in the right way. So they are surviving. So this is the right time to unleash whatever the capabilities of your organization, whatever the capabilities you have. Definitely you have to go digital and sharpen your digital skills. That is very much important. And then strengthening the bonding around you. This is a very, very crucial period, and definitely you can do this than anytime. Because this pandemic and the crisis time, the very much important thing is in the family. You all know that many people they feel very happy about being with the family members because when the man is working and the man is having some business and also the woman is also having some business, the kids are going to school. But this is the lockdown time is an amazing time for many people to keep bonding with the family. When we talk about the work-life balance, also this is the right time to go for the resilience if you had any misunderstanding. So this is the time to fix anything, the relationship kind of thing. So everything we have to fix up. And also the people who are working with you, if you had some problems, you can develop bonding with them. You can openly talk because you have lot of time. You have a lot of time to discuss. You have a lot of time to open up and keep the bonding to grow. So and then have a mentor for you. This is very, very important. And whoever it is, that is, it might be a man or woman, it's not a problem. But the very most important thing is they should have the mentor you choose should have a different perspective than you. That is very important. And also having a mentor always motivating you and having a different view about yourself and the problems you are facing. And then having one or two mentors, that is also good. So this is many women leaders are lagging in this. They don't have mentors. They always get confused. They suppress their emotions with themselves, and lack of transparency with the people they know. So these are all the things stopping them, and having a mentor is always a good thing, and that will definitely help. And run with your own pace. This is very important because the women leaders always tend to compare themselves with others, because the day one when you see the 19 during the 1970s or 80s or 90s, I think. So the Amazon company was just in a the Amazon. Nowadays it's a very big organization, right? First it was opened and working in a very small room. So you can't compare the day one with the day 100, right? So likewise, you could see many men who studied with you or started business with you very good pace. but you cannot go in the same pace. So don't worry about that. Have your own pace, because the situations in your family, the society, so everything is pushing up. But always have the passion and always ignite your own strengths and everything. That is very much essential. But never regret for your pace, because after crossing your, because in my life, after my second child I started my profession. So it's okay. Even the age of 50 was starting okay. So always keep the fire in you. That is very essential. More self, you have to motivate yourself to run fast, to increase the pace. That is fine. But never ever regret about your pace. Be with your own pace and be happy about that. That is very important. Then if you want to associate, because during this crisis sometimes we cannot hold ourselves with our own resources. We have to associate with some, because if you are a lack of digital knowledge, we have to associate or partnership with someone having the good technology background. That is good. But always choose your partners not about the skills they have, not about the advantages they have, rather than with the partnership, associate with the people who are matching your values, that is having somewhat similar values and purpose. So if they coincide, very good. Definitely this partnership or association will last for a long time. And listen your heart than head, because during the crisis or uncertainty time we get so much confused about what to do next. So what is the future? So after 2 months, will it be okay, will it be fine, then what will I do? So many anxieties and confusions are happening in our mind. So always believe, hear your heart, listen your heart than the head. Because sometimes if your head is more confusing than your heart is what to do. So be compassionate are doing and embrace what are the positive things they had. So how can I possess, and what are the steps I have to strengthen myself. So many things you have to explore. So more than giving more importance to, rather than giving more importance to the head, give importance to your heart and listen and go with the intuitions, because everything is uncertain. Nobody can give a surety for anything. So this is better. So take time to ground yourself, as we have getting time to realize ourselves. So what are the, so far, if you are running a business for 20 or 30 years or 10 years or something, so what are the things I had done, what are the mistakes I have done so far? So how to rectify of mistakes, if I had hurt someone, or so this is the period to ground ourselves, to analyze ourselves. What are the strengths, what are my weakness, so where I have to grow. So what is my rather than uh, being in the being or being in a depression or something, it's a time to ground ourselves. That is having a deep breath. Deep breath is not about, I'm saying, not about a yoga. There's a deep breath is about having a relaxing time for you, and whatever thing you have missed, just analysis, make an analysis of yourself and the organization, your profession, make a deep analysis and discuss with the like-minded people. And that is having a proper platform, that is preparing a proper platform to your next big step. So that is very important. And the very most important thing is, you always like I already told, maybe the society is not favorable for you, maybe the situation, the current pandemic or any crisis is not favorable for you, maybe the family might be, for some people the family might be not favorable for you. So whatever it is, first you have to always believe that the universe will never abandon you. So always trust with your heart, always trust your intuition, always trust the universe will always support you. Whatever things, if you want to unleash the powerful leadership in you, definitely the universe will support. So I have heard, is there any noise? Is there any noise in the audio? Now it's okay. Okay. So you shine differently when you are happy. So finally, I want to say that dying happily is very much important than dying successful, right? That is, dying is not a bad word, I think. So this is more about being successful. We lose. We always want to become successful. We always want to become earn more money, more fame, or anything. This is our ultimate desire for many people. But still, being happy is very much essential. So this is the time during this pandemic or crisis or anything, the very much important learning for us is what is most essential in my life, what is the thing running in my life, what is more important for me. So, and the more important for anyone is happiness. So happiness or being peaceful and being healthy, that is very much more important. And also if you are running an organization, being that is having a happy workplace and having happy people, happy customers, so that is very important than making being successful. And also the days, the more than how much differences you are making with people, that is very much important than making more money. That is, making more money is very, very important, but we have to see in this perspective, like how many differences I had made, how many differences I had made in people's life. So that is very important. That will make you happy, and that will make you your life very smooth and successful one. That is very, so that is the thing I want to say. And also I want to finish this with 1 minute. And also I want to finish with a small example here. So we have so many beliefs which stop us to grow, okay, grow and go to the next level or success or whatever it is. One lady I met in my life, she is so inspiring. Okay, I will never forget about the leadership skills of her. Okay, maybe I don't know whether you all know about the particular woman. She's her name is Chinnapillai. Okay, her name is Chinnapillai. She was born in a small village. There is there is a village which is having no amenities or anything. It's a very small village, and during the 90s, she found that many women are not financially good in her village because they are always dependent on the man, and the many men are drunkard in the village. And also she started a banking, how to manage the finance among the women. And now she is having thousands and thousands of women in her network. And during the 90s, she got the Pushkar Award from Vajpayee. So once I met the woman, I asked, how did you make it? She's nearby our town. She's living near our town. And once I met her, she's a very, very simple lady. You can imagine she's just in the, still she's in the village costume. And she's now almost 60 years old, I think. She simply said only one word. That is, I want to make difference in the women's life. So that is the one thing which is moving her higher and higher in her life, and still she's feeling very much happy and contentful life she's living. Recently, she awarded 2019 as a Padma Shri Award. Okay, that kind of social entrepreneur or social leader, they are making in a very, very simple way. They are not confusing with so many things. The only thing is how much a difference I could make. So that is the thing inspired me a lot. So the story of Chinnapillai, I just want to share with you. And thank you so much. And then if you have any questions or anything, you could ask. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sharmila ji. That was a very motivational and inspirational talk. Now, before I leave the house open for questions, there are a couple of things I would like to ask you. One is, you said that we should not hesitate to ask for help, and failures are faced by all. So what I want to ask you is that should we get our emotional quotients tested before we get into entrepreneurship? Is that a good idea, or can this be developed on the way, or is it inherent in us? That is one question. And I also
Okay.
want to ask you, what can be done by governments and parliaments and civil society and the media to ensure that women's voices are more heard and they also have a part in decision making?
Okay, thank you. So the first question is about, is there any emotional quotient to be tested to start the entrepreneurship? I think it's no. Because the entrepreneurship is not common, not only common for women or men, it's common for anyone. Okay. So the only thing, if you want to become an entrepreneur, the only thing you have to need is only the passion. And some women entrepreneurs who are emerging now, I'm saying about the young entrepreneurs now, they have the very clear purpose about what they are willing to do in the society. That is the key thing they are having. If anyone is having the clarity of what's the kind of what is my purpose in the society, or what is rather than making money, that is making money is essentially, it comes by itself. If you have the passion and if you have the purpose for your organization, and definitely any entrepreneur can survive and grow and being successful. That is very important. So the emotional quotient, like what I said, like being a mother. Okay, as being a mother is one thing where we need to highly emotionally balance, because it is very, when you have born a child, that is when you're giving birth to a child, you know how much that is it is like breaking the bones. Okay, the pain is like breaking the 3 bones at a time. So how much emotional tolerance women can make than the other gender. Okay, so this is the best example. So this is the highest emotional stability or highest emotional tolerance a woman is having. So for entrepreneurship, it's not that much big. Giving birth to a child is a very big thing, right? So definitely any woman can thrive if only she has the passion. And what about the second question? So the second question is about the government policy. Can you repeat that, ma'am, please? The second question.
तनुजा क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर दो.
Society and
Yeah, can you please repeat the second question?
media. Women's voices. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What is the second question?
So, and women's voices
Sorry.
need to be bolstered. For example, in logistics, supply chains, or manufacturing units.
Okay. Can you please? That is a first half question. It was not audible.
Which are the non-formal and unconventional sectors and spaces where key decisions are being taken?
Okay. So in entrepreneurship, you are asking about entrepreneurship.
Yes, about entrepreneurship.
Yes, it's more about the strategic planning. Okay, so during the crisis time, especially when you are a leader, you have to make the decisions, and you have to when you are in the position to frame the strategy for your organization. There, you do not need any kind of particular framework or more quantitative things like. So it is more about it's about your intuition and intelligence, and much qualitative things are there. Because even if you take, for instance, even as a governance, even in governing a country, when you are facing the uncertainty, you have to make the survival measures, right? So to make the survival strategies, to frame the survival strategies, maybe your lag of the data, your lagging of the consistent things. The only thing is you have to frame the strategy as per what is the resources available to you. So what are the information available to you? What are the resources available to you? So this complete framework you have to design only according to the intelligence and your own intuition. So when framing the strategy, that is no need for much during the crisis, especially don't need for much things. And also the human resources management. When you are having the dealing with the people, and if they have conflicts and the lack of trust issues, and having the internal conflicts at your in your organization, at the same time you have to express your relationship skills. That is, you have to work with your compassionate, because all these qualitative things, all these character, all these flexible, all these traits are very much flexible, and these flexible traits could only manage these kind of situations. So the two things, one is the crisis strategy, and the other thing is human relationship.
So thank you.
Yes. Any other question? Any other question? You can also leave your question in the
Poonam ji,
chat
would you
box.
like to ask question?
Would anyone have any more questions?
You can also ask question about your any psychological kind of thing.
I would like to ask you, you're also a pranic healer. So
Yes.
do you think any pranic healing helps to boost up the business?
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, there is a process called business healing. Business healing. Because the pranic healing, the basis of everything is more about the chakras, right? So we have the 12 chakras all over, the major 12 chakras all over the body, and there is always a criteria to heal our business. Like there is one way, that is imagining, like when we do the pranic healing, we imagine that our business is like an entity, and also the business is also having the emotion body, and also it has the physical body and also the spiritual body, because we are in accounts, in accounts we treat this as a living entity in business. So the same way in pranic healing also, we consider business as a living entity, and also every organization you heal is having all these chakras. So you can also cleanse the aura, and also giving the positive energy from the universe to the business, and heal by itself. And it has also the heart chakra. The business has also the heart chakra and the sacral chakra and everything. So once you are well versed in the pranic healing, you know how to heal, where and where you have to give the energy, and where you have the depletion in energy, and how to heal it completely. There is always a
Would
way.
you be able to give us any example of any business you have healed in this manner?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, in business, for example, in one organization, there was a lot of there is 3 partnership organization. They have 3 partners. So these 3 partners had always not good understanding among themselves. Okay, so everything is fine because it is a hereditary organization, and things were always set up, and the finance was very good, and everything was very good. The business is running very good, but there is always a conflicts between the partners there. So here we identified that we could identify that the love and the relationship part is lagging in the business. Okay, so due to this is also creating the vibes around the employees like they are after sometimes. So this is creating, this kind of situation is creating some agitation among the employees, and they are not always, they're also not happy to work with the particular company, even though they are very loyal people there, they are agitated. So for this complaint, we could see this as a more about this as a relationship problem, and we could heal the heart chakra of the business. So once you start to heal the heart chakra of the business, slowly we could find that these partners are having some good relationship with each other, and also the people who are working for them also start to trust the people and trust with the organization. So that will make a difference.
So, thank you, Sharmila ji. That was very enlightening. Now, I have one more small question to ask you.
Yeah, please.
Do you think that women entrepreneurs need different skills from men entrepreneurs?
Okay. So I think women are, it's not about the different skills, because men is having us, we have to understand that there is two dimensions. Okay, the first, men is having the special dimension, and also women is having another special dimension. They are not both, but the skills, when you consider the skills, you have to have a look at the basic dimension of the men and the women. And especially if you take, for instance, the men leader, you could see they have some good things, like they could take control, and they could make the decisions very fast. They could they are very much good in financing kind of thing, investing kind of thing. So these are all some dimensions a man is having. Okay, so as a woman leader, that is man leader is having, and another dimension is having as a woman, she's having the high survival skills than men, and also she's also having high tolerance and surviving skills, and also like I always I already told the compassionate and empathetic skills, listening skills. So this is both, these are all having the two dimensions, and we have to embrace the dimensions and grow ourselves for being an entrepreneur. So that is very important. Any skills you have to possess. Your question is, we have to encourage to have the self-confidence. The first thing is the common belief that, because in the previous my leadership session, one woman asked, I'm a weaker sex, I always feel like as a woman I feel like a weaker sex. It's not, it's only about you believe. So what we believe make us. Okay, if a woman is believing that there is always a glass ceiling over me that is stopping me to grow, if you believe that, yes, that is. If you believe that I'm also having the good controlling skills like man, and financial knowledge like man, and if you start to grow yourself, that will also happen. So it is more about, it's not about the skills, we are all different dimensions, but still we can make it like man. At the same time, we have to accept that the very good side of us is always there to support and grow us. So that is very important.
So, thank you very much, Sharmila ji. One last question. Which
Yes,
attitude should women change in themselves to become really great entrepreneurs?
What is the attitude?
Which attitude should they change?
Okay. The main attitude I have seen is growing together. Because many women leaders are having this difficulty. I'm not blaming anyone, but this is one of the basic difficulty. Like we always having very curious. We are having curiosity about what others are doing, how others are growing, and how good others are, how bad others are. So this is especially this what is a crisis situation, or this era would not support you if we have such kind of trait with us. So the main attitude we have, the need of the hour is growing together and supporting each other. So, empowered women empower other women. So, make this as your mantra, and definitely this attitude will help you a lot.
So thank you very much, Sharmila ji. That last
you.
point I think was really very close to my own heart. I always
So,
feel
thank you.
that women are the enemies of women, not men. And so I think you've just supported me on that. And thank you very much. I'm sure everyone listening into this session today has had a really wonderful time. And the next time we call you, you may just have a lot of new women entrepreneurs on this floor. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sharmila ji.
Sharmila, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Very
Thank you.
informative. Very informative.
Thank you. So I'm very happy to share my knowledge and experience with you all people, and also many people, many women here or elders than me. And so my heartful thanks to very much heartful thanks to everyone, and thank you, Kiran Bodar, for that's your. I like you very much because you're always having the smiling face and so motherly to me. Thank you, and I could see. That is it's a very heart fulfilling session with so many women leaders have. Thank you, thanks a lot for me giving this opportunity. And also if there is some young Indian members here, I want to say my hi here, and CA members here and everyone here. Thank you, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, Tushar, for making this session happen. Thank you,
Thank you, Sharmila. Thank you for being with us. Thank you.
thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.